What's good, VFF traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Tuesday. It's May 10th. Hope you're well today. And in this short video, going to be discussing the stock Village Farms, so ticker symbol VFF, getting absolutely destroyed today. They reported their Q1 earnings, and the stock was down about 25% today. Before we get to it, though, make sure to smash the like. It doesn't cost you anything. It helps support me in the channel. And if you could subscribe if you're new here, tick the bell, you'll be notified on any future updates. So nothing new for the MJ space. We're just continuing. We continue to get annihilated, and this is another example of that. I also did a video on why fundamentals do not matter yet in the MJ space. You can check that out, but this is another good example of that. And they especially don't matter on the upside, right? If we have positive fundamentals, we're not seeing any movement to the upside. There's just too much bearish momentum at the moment. But when we have negative fundamentals to the downside, then we see an exaggerated move to the downside. The market's just not making any sense at the moment. These valuations we know are absolutely ludicrous, both in the Canadian space. This is kind of the fundamental poster child, if you will. A lot of fundamental maxis are probably a little disgruntled today. But again, this is why the whole market moves in tandem, right? The whole MJ sector moves together. And right now we just have way too much bearish momentum. So I encourage you to check out that video that I did on why fundamentals do not matter. And hopefully that kind of puts everything into perspective. But again, we need a sector-wide catalyst that is going to ignite the sector. And in my opinion, that's going to take safe banking and uplisting to U.S. major exchanges and capital markets. So Village Farms Q1 MJ sales declined 16% sequentially to 28.8 million. So again, this is one of those names where the fundamentals have been very, very strong, but this quarter was less than ideal for sure. Canadian MJ business contributes record 14th consecutive quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA. But again, we're just not seeing this reflecting in the share price. And consolidated revenue increased 34% year over year to 70.2 million. So we'll take a look at the estimates here for the earnings. So on EPS, they were forecasting negative 0.0017, so basically flat, and it came in at negative 0.07. So that was a pretty big miss there. And revenue actually missed as well, just a slight miss, but it was down from the prior quarter as well, came in at 70.16 million, and it was forecasted at 70.64 million. I'm not going to dive too much into these financials because it doesn't really matter, right? Until the whole sector reverses, we need to see the whole sector catalyst that's going to take us higher. And the only thing I can think of right now is safe banking. Let me know in the comments below, or obviously full-blown legalization, or if, I know Germany is looking to legalize this year and speed up. I did a post on that as well. They're looking to speed up recreational sales and go live at some point this year. That could help as well. But in my opinion, that's not enough. We need something like safe banking, or maybe a major company getting into the space. That's something that could ignite the sector as well. But obviously, their Q1 MJ sales declining 16% really hurt the stock. That's another reason why it got hit really hard today, in my opinion. But also the fact that we missed on revs and a big miss on EPS. And then not to mention SPY was actually down quite a bit to start the morning as well. And the whole MJ sector was just getting slammed today, down anywhere from 5 to 25%. So if we take a look at VFF here, it was down almost 25% from the high of the day to the low of the day today. And just in the last 5 days, VFF is down almost 40%, so about 38%. Again, I feel bad for those, I empathize. I don't really feel bad because I'm a retail investor as well. I don't have emotions. I empathize, though. I understand how people are getting frustrated, but you just have to keep in mind that the whole sector is moving together. And VFF, if we just compare it to some of our other LPs, if we take a look from the highs of February of 2021 and we measure where we are, we're only down, only 86%. So again, just par for the course. And so many people are wondering why this is happening. Well, let's just take a look at CGC from its highs of February 2021. We're down over 90%, about 91%. Okay, now let's look at Tilray. Tilray from $67 in February 2021 is now down over 93%, right? Hexo from the high of February 2021 is down about 97%. So again, guys, this is just par for the course, and we could see a little bit more downside. I think we're due for a bounce at some point soon. The fact that we've seen such high volatility today, especially in VFF, this is a good sign, in my opinion, that the volatility to the downside is getting extreme. And usually when we see this extreme volatility to the downside, it's met with extreme volatility to the upside. And I think that we could be due for a massive bounce. It may just be a relief rally and a dead cat bounce. But again, I think that SPY is going to be setting a temporary bottom here at some point soon. I think crypto is going to do it as well, and that should bode well for the MJ space. If we get all systems go, right, if everything is trending higher, we've got tailwinds instead of headwinds. And then, like I said, if safe banking starts to gain some traction, that could be that catalyst that's going to really ignite the sector, right? So again, and something I want to point out as well is I never want to hear anybody complain about MJ being down again ever because Shopify in the last 6 months is down over 82%. Again, a lot of people say MJ is the most volatile and the most riskiest and the worst, the worst to invest in. It's garbage. Well, how about the Shopify, right? Down over 82%. Look at Netflix. I've been saying stay the heck away from tech, and this is why. And again, all stocks are risky. It's not just MJ. It's not just crypto. It's all stocks, right? Each individual stock is super risky. That's why they have ETFs and things like that you can own a basket of securities, right? And you can diversify a little bit. But again, this is the market that we are in, the market environment, and when this kind of stuff is going on, it's obviously going to provide major headwinds and hurt the MJ space. If we take a look at the VFF weekly chart, we're below the 10-week moving average. The stochastic and the MACD are extremely bearish as well. We are starting to see a bit of a curl here on the stochastic, so that is a positive sign. If we take a look at the weekly moving averages, we did have a bear cross of the 50 weekly down through the 100 and the 200 weekly moving average. If that happens on the daily time frame, we call that a death cross. I don't know what you would call this. I don't think there's a name for it, but this would be just absolute the worst possible scenario, right, for VFF bulls. This was not what we wanted to see. We had that bear cross coming down on the weekly time frame, which is 10 times worse than a death cross on the daily time frame, right? So when that occurred back here on, well, the 50 cross down through the 200 weekly moving average back on mid-April, and the price then was around $5. So if you just exited there on that bearish indicator, that would have saved you quite a bit of downside, right? From all the way from about $5 down to would have saved you about almost 50% of downside. And then on the daily time frame, we had a death cross back here in June, and it's just been rejecting ever since, right? It's just been a straight waterfall. And again, just catching up to the rest of the sector. If you're wondering why VFF is down so much today, obviously their MJ sales declined and they missed on both estimates, EPS and revs, and it's just catching up to the rest of the sector, in my opinion, now down about, on average, about the same as most of our LPs and MSOs. But I definitely feel for people. I know it's been rough out there. I think over the next few months, we're going to see a massive bounce and turnaround in the MJ space. It will be good for MJ if we see crypto and tech stocks top out, and it's looking like that bubble has burst, and it looks like it's topped out. So this could be good for MJ over the next 6 to 12 months. I think we could be entering a bull market. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me. If you could smash the like on your way out, it helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe if you're new here and tick the bell and you'll be notified on any future updates. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.